Hi friends, and welcome back to playing tribute to Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, where today we are going to finish off with my favorite case of the game, Turnabout Academy. We're on the second day of the trial. We've got some, well, as always, we've got some secrets to unravel and some cases to finish, like I said. Wow, I can tell that I'm already going to be good for talking during this one. So let's just jump right in here, shall we? We've got a lot to deal with after the after what we heard the previous day. Here goes. Oh, well, he looks confident. Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours. Guten Morgen, you two. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back, and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same. In other words, the recording's a fabrication. I was just wondering, though, if it could possibly be... Well, no, because it was said 7 p.m. last night. Okay, so it wasn't like it recorded something that was, like, showing on a television screen or something from the lecture hall. It was actually before the trial began, so yeah, it's completely a fake. The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, they've found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Who's there? Wait! Did you see who it was? No, I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping. I wonder if he saw our hand. Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and Box Girl were listening in too. I will make sure they don't make a run for it. That's my final gift to you. Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. Time for a mini Chords of Steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine! Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes and I'm fine! I'm fine. It's gonna be fine. All rise. Court is now in session. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. I mean, the defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready as well. I mean, isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell? Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody, understood? Your baldness, Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later I shall grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now, about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling defective detective, defective detective, the bungling detective who overlooked that, he is paying for his failure as we speak. Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all his body parts intact. But if that's the case, then what will we? The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from the art room to the stage. And I mean to prove it here this day. It's just like Detective Fulbright said, but what else does he have up his sleeve? My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the blood stain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say the body was carried over to that very window. From there it was dropped down to the maintenance area below, and though there was an area scratched to the body aside from the fatal wound, and that too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to catch in the fall. Then a ball cart was used to haul the body over to the stage. That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way.
Objection!
Your propensity to spew forth words before you think is not very clever either. Why you? Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it's time for you to come forth. Is it you? Ooh, it is.
Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at Themis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday, I told the lawyers there that I would testify to the truth. So I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes? What's he up to now?
Court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now your testimony, please.
The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. It's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was headed toward me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client? Never a snappy comeback when I need one. He's coming straight at us today using any means possible. To protect the students, you had to climb up high when setting up the stage. A mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse. Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put the mat away after they'd used it?
Objection!
Oh, there's plenty wrong. There's but one mat in the entire school that could cushion the fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body. It sucks being the last to know everything. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by that mat. I forgot about the drag marks.
If the only mat of that thickness was where the body was assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to the case.
We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm gonna turn your arrogant perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure. Okay. Press everything. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it right there! Oh no. Am I gonna be... Maybe pressing everything just makes me look like an idiot. But I did like that rapid tap on the desk, though. That was pretty crazy. Wait, I was just getting to the important part. You go to unsheath your blade, Sykes-Jono. Your heavy breath heaves to where I stand.
Objection!
How rude! A human's breath doesn't travel anywhere near that far. So the only issue is distance? You're not denying that you're a heavy breather. I'm just saying that scientific studies have proven that it's not... Hang in there, Athena. No matter how many insults they hurl, it won't affect the judge's opinion of you. What about my own self-esteem? Let's get back to what happened before the mock trial. Gotta love it when the pressing is just totally pointless. Alright. Our client was simply putting the mat away. It had nothing to do with the case.
Objection!
That's where you are wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a 3-story fall. Typos again, sorry. I apologize on behalf of the game. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essential to moving the body. If we win this one, I promise to donate another thick mat to the academy. Now show me how to show you the truth. You'll have my full cooperation. Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said? I was between the stage and maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop. He's sticking to his guns. The issue here is where he was standing when he says he saw Junie. But nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper. Oh, and before you ask, I had my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That is not an issue. Okay, what's the problem with the maintenance area? What's the lecture hall diagram? I mean, there's a wall there. Is that what it's talking about? Like, is the maintenance area back behind the wall? Oh, I guess it would have to be. Man, the crackling pages sound is great. Between the stage... Between the stage and the maintenance area. So, in front of the wall? Athena is clearly giving me... The game is giving me some kind of hint. Of his location being important here. You shouldn't assume anything. It only shows that you're not positive.
Objection!
Such wild momentum. Perhaps you were a raging bull in your past life.
Objection!
Don't compare me to some stupid farm animal. Hey, Justice Dono. Our assertion is Juniper was simply putting the mat away. In that case, where would she be taking it? Oh, to the storehouse? Over in the maintenance area? Precisely, therefore, there's not wrong with the witness's judgment in this matter. It is your wild charges that are the issue here. But I cannot help it if you keep seeing red. He's going to get a face full of justice, Apollo style, if he keeps that up. Anyway, I saw her heading toward me. I'm just gonna keep pressing everything, and then I'm gonna present that photo, because I think that's what she's going for here. Then it's entirely possible that somebody else moved the body, correct?
Objection!
Are you mad or merely delusional? Everyone was in the lecture hall before the mock trial. The rest of the campus was empty. Ergo, the only probable suspects were the 3 trial participants. I know, thank you for stating the obvious. I also know that you, Hugh O'Connor, were one of the participants. Mr. Confidence sure goes all out when he tells the truth. Well, I don't think he meant for any of that to be misleading, but it doesn't make it factual. Careful now, Athena. A genius like Hugh could be leading you right into a trap. I'd be surprised if he wasn't, but all I can do is charge forward with both eyes open. Alright. Charge like a bull. So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area. Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Ms. Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here?
Yes, in fact, there were a bunch of those next to my house until just a few days ago, too. It was so noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest.
Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That's their purpose. What are the pictures that are on her screen? I just noticed. Zoom in, enhance, enhance. Actually, no, I think it's the parts of the courtroom. Like, I think that's one of the benches to the right there, like the prosecutor or the defense. I don't know what the middle one is. It might just be files. And the left one is... I think it's these screens. I don't know. Anyway. Now let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop.
Oh my, but the screen would have been completely in the way.
That's right. Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point.
Youch! Order! Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to this court?
The screen. Right. It must have slipped my mind. What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have. And the genius level lapses of memory that people like me have. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already?
Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the lapses of memory?
Heh, that's easy. That was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen.
Objection!
You are testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind this court that back of the stage is not visible from the front? To actually see our client behind the stage from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to have been in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor. Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
All right, Golden Boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest. The truth? What truth? The fact that Golden Boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage.
Objection!
But then the screen would have blocked his view of...
Objection!
On the ground, yes, his view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think something on the other side of the screen, something high enough to see the stage? No way. This crane right here? But I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial. Me neither, but it's probably safe to assume it was moved before he found the body. That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember, you promised. I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information. What's all this about, a promise? Is this about whatever Blackwell is using against him? And what's it got to do with going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up into that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds.
What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane?
Witness... I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane.
Hold it!
Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working the same site the previous day, too. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Yep. As the court can see, this photo captures the crane operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. Are you serious? This is ridiculous. How very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is ridiculous as the witness maintains. The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light.
That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that?
The person in this photo has one really distinguishing feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify the person in this photo as the witness by examining... Well, you can't examine his fingerprints because this is a photo. And his hobby has nothing to do with it, so I guess it's the red thing around his neck. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck.
Oh, why, yes, you can see right there. But then are you saying you mean to?
Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy. You are a disgraceful man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off. Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see your neck. Guess I have no choice.
Oh, my.
So, where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade. There's only one like it in the world. Well, it sure looks like a neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed? Huh. You're one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment is no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school.
But when you factor in all the required tests and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane?
Oh, about that. You see, I'm a genius, so, you know.
Objection!
Let us dispense with the inane charade, Golden Boy.
No, Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't.
High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus, they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor? Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right?
No, don't, please.
Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school. Wait, come again? Take a gander of the official school enrollment documentation. It's all right there.
25? You mean he's older than me? 25-year-old high school students?
A 7-year break. 7 years. I've just one thing to say. There are two kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breathers take. And the genius kind people like me take.
Objection!
But a genius would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row. Only you could get away with using only like that. Enough of this jibber-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane while he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further.
Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Hold on, I'm curious now.
I wonder what it said before this. I should have checked. Because the other two are 18.
Anyway. Just a defense clear to dissuade me.
Yes, please. As long as a mat was used to move the body, Jeannie is going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at that time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor!
Yes, Miss Sykes?
I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. A little conjecture has never stopped us before. Interesting. Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane. Are we arguing that he was using the crane to move the body? Is that what we're trying to say? Because we're still putting the fault on him, right? We're suspecting him because of the blood-dripping hands and him being a jerk in general. He wouldn't be moving the screen. This was before the mock trial. What need would he have to move the screen? Yeah, I think we're arguing that he was moving the body. The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script, too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. Now, how simplistic, even foolish. These are pretty strong words, Athena. You sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator. He could have used it to move the body. What was he doing in those 7 years? Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter. Save that this does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap? Watch this. Oh, there he is again. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that that's a ketchup stain. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I've already verified this with the Hospital of Treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say. So how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that. It has no relevance to the case. You sure about that? Mr. Bloody Hands walking through the hallway? The night of the murder? 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. Now I'm the fool? I'd planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. And here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for. Now that the defense's history is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. Sophistry? Sophistry? I would say I've never seen that word before, but clearly I have if I've seen this case before. Sophistry. The use of fallacious arguments, especially with the intention of deceiving. Thanks, Blackwell.
The body was dropped out of the third floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. And then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See, I've been paying attention.
Well done, your boldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat, ergo it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you were on the right track. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But... oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane?
And Miss X, if you have a counter-argument, this court would like to hear it. And if you do not...
oh, if you do not, it's time for the verdict. Doesn't that correct your boldness?
Objection!
No, not yet! All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right?
Well, that would show us that had nothing to do with this case.
There's a sword of great renown that constitutes sophistic lawyers. Its name is evidence. You don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and a creepy grin. And just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped. And even lower it without just dropping it. It's not like it could fly. Oh no, we have enough of flying. No more flying victims either. Maybe could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Oh, they just flat out tell. Cool, alright. Alright. Are you picking up what they're putting down? I knew it because I've done this case several times before. But it's good. It's telling us, it's basically just like, hey, this is the answer, go with it. Someone could have easily used that thing.
Oh, yes, of course. Miss X, the court would like to see what you have for us.
All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and the ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used. Wait, do I have it? I don't think I have the rope. I think I have this, though. Hung on a wire between the stage. Oh, a trace amount of blood. Okay. You remember whenever there was blood on this? I really should go through the evidence at the start of every part. I am so sorry that I do not do that.
Take that!
I just kind of go with the flow here. The key here is the thing that ties the art room and the stage together. Might I propose an idea? Might you will to tie your lips together lest you further expose your ignorance. Oh, shut up, Blackwell. This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackwell. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run reel in the school banner from the art room. Run or reel in the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire.
Objection!
Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high wire act. The body surely would fall. Yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection!
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that. I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried?
Well, go on, please explain.
The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a map.
I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying?
Objection!
I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high-wire act. If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it. I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the art and pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have been via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. That's true. It's with that blood. Ergo, the wire and banner had not all to do with this case. Oh, the bloodstained pottery. I remember that. This doesn't look good. We'll be back to that theory if you don't do something.
Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time in this exact.
If my wire theory is true, then that blood on the pottery must not have been.
The blood at oh no, it's not the victim's blood.
Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from? Again, they're mixing their prepositions. They did that before too, on yesterday's, or yeah, during the investigation quote yesterday quote. Shame on you, Sexton. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Fulbright. Looks like they didn't check it. Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We will know not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim for as far as I can. Your boldness, I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant.
Of course, it shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick.
We're history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please, please, let it be someone else's.
It seems the blood was not from the victim. What?
Furthermore, comparison with other parties involved with this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Score! So, what did you do to your hand? Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand had suffered a serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first-floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Sykeston, for it is she who forces me to expose your secrets. Fine, whatever. Wow, how much dirt does he have on you? The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. Ooh, what the heck? It was inside this that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. Miss Scuttlebutt's... But didn't the prosecution already claim that this envelope is the one that contained her script? Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all.
Let's see here. My word, talk about the world's most painful paper cut.
Yeah, what is happening? Was it trapped or something? Like, what's going on?
Indeed, you can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court.
You really want to see my scarecrow, you better watch out. Do it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Yikes! Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that.
The blood on the blade is the roses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek into Monk's scripts, and paid for his foolishness.
Ouch! This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen.
Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't that deep. You've still got the wire theory.
Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that.
Now what? You calling yourself a lawyer? Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out.
And you.
How can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. The body sent sliding down that wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away?
Well, I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together.
Yeah. So the body would have collided with the statues? What if they did collide? Wait, that's it. Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would also explain that loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room.
Oh, now that you mention it, Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Objection!
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard said sound?
it was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when... Ah!
Precisely. That sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved. That would place it during the mock trial.
Oof. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started.
Oh, which everybody keeps saying it was. Right before the mock trial started, I saw the body.
He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me in and our case killed.
The focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion, therefore, contradicts the very foundation of this case.
Objection!
Both sides still lacking controvertible evidence. So should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion?
Good point.
Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side.
I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great. As long as he's not up to something else.
If the statues really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me.
Well, like I said before the mock trial, the body was, you know...
That's very convincing, Hugh.
I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now.
Not as if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship of your body. Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body. Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again, and I'll charge you with perjury. I think you can charge him now. There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. But why? I'm sorry. Oh, man. Yes, we've exposed Huge's big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Order! The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know that the body was moved using the wire and skull banner. Indeed, that much I shall concede, Sykes-Donut. The body was moved as you stated, in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied then? If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have all three suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it is an entirely different story. Right. All three suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio? Oh no. How could I forget? It was... Why is Judy so large in the shot? She was in charge of the audio. Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Jennifer Rose, for she was in charge of the audio. Eek! No! Yes, I see. That does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue. Twisted Samurai strikes again. Twisted? It's more like Dirty Rotten. Your boldness. It is time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes. Apollo, what are we going to do? We've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente. Niente. I don't know. I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too. Poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection. Well... I object to... What's up, Hugh? Stop right there. What's up, Hugh? All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. What's up, Hugh? Oh gosh. Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. What is he doing? Perfect crime? Is he trying to confess again?
is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes, we did. This had better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead. Arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Order, I say. Mr. O'Connor. You already confessed yesterday. Then earlier today recanted your confession. As if you mouth-breathers could comprehend my genius, the end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Objection!
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There's no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, and you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. What is happening? Give it a rest, dude. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. I am so confused. I don't really understand what he's going for here. Like, at first, he was testifying against her, and now he's back to confessing for her sake. I don't understand what's happening here. I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all? No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird. Especially the whole thing about a body double. Oh well, I'm relieved it's not just me. And the prosecution. Your boldness. Summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark, raving mad. Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict. You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes. The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. Besides, don't you guys have that weird device for testimony like this?
Objection!
Widget's not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session. Your better judgment. I'm a judge, and it's far beyond mine, yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you. No objections. Prosecutor Blackwell. Did he leave? The prosecutor said, "Rubbish. We will be out in a stroll." Then left with Detective Fulbright. How does he get away with stuff like that? Then I'll interpret that as meaning he has no explicit objections. Alright, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with the therapy session. I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. Alright, let's figure out what's going on with this guy. Is there a noise level happening, or... What are we looking at here? He's super happy, apparently. Oh, I love the masked guy. I didn't almost lose, my body double did.
I don't...
Got it!
He's trying to defend Juniper again. Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Court. His secret? Oh, the bribe. She wanted nothing to do with me because I had disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only, the truth.
Objection!
Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might help set Miss Woods free. So much so that it overshadowed all of your other emotions. What are you? I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor, the discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when you confessed. So he really was trying to protect Juniper. Yes, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. But that means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious, have we? Is Blackwell back? Yeah, there he is. Why, Prosecutor Blackwell, you're back. The confession was not with lies, save for the part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Yeah, why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll? No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet. You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double? Yes, I do. If you think I didn't, then prove it. Either we quit here and Juniper is found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion. Let's go with the least worst choice. But first, let me update his testimony. Okay, well, at least it's... yeah, okay. I still think the whole, oh, I didn't almost lose is... Should the lack of an emotion be troubling to me? Oh, why is he sad and upset here? Alright, it's either lack of an emotion when he's saying that he wasn't about to lose, or the sadness here. But he is confessing, so I guess the fear... The lack of an emotion is weird too, right? I'm just gonna try it. I didn't almost lose, you say? Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time, except during this statement. Oh yeah, it was the entire time. You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it. No, don't. Stop making stuff up. When I left the lecture hall. It was during Professor Mean's pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body, then slipped back just before the verdict. So you're saying you were there the moment that your double was about to lose? Yes, I was. Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I was at the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came and went through the doors there.
Objection!
Psychono, how much longer will you indulge him in this charade? Well, it's true that no one in the audience might see him go through either of those doors. The faculty seats on the balconies are a different story and have a splendid view. And that you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when facing the front of the hall. Use the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench.
That means my movements were only visible to someone on the left balcony seat. That seat was empty at the time, which is only natural. After all, it belonged to Professor Court, and as we all know, she was already dead by then. That can't be right. An empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence.
Yeah, that was Professor Mean's seat, buddy.
Take that!
I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves at this point. I guess I'll just have to follow it and see where it takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty. But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Means was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if he left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, he would have been standing there in his seat addressing students and faculty. No, this can't be right. He did no one any favor by exposing the falsities of his confession. I've told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. I love how he admits he's telling lies. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me. It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's have you testify again, but this time don't spare any details. Got it. I'll repeat it as many times as you'd like. I mean, my ingenious escape act warrants repeating, considering I'm the real killer. Yeah, come on, dude. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not. Okay. Second floor was deserted. Don't you believe me? It's true. I tell you. Went out the back door. What I'm gonna do is go through the empty audio control room. Using the hallway so it's perfectly capable. Why are you sad here?
Got it!
Afraid. I detected powerful sadness and fear right after you said this part. It's as if you said something you shouldn't have. But what's wrong with you? You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see. Mr. O'Connor, it's you who is revealing your inner emotions by the way you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. You're a horrible person. Can't you just leave me be? You said that you went through the empty audio control room. But that's not true, is it? There was someone who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech. And that someone who was in the audio control room would had to have been Juniper, because she was in charge of the audio.
Take that!
I know you realized there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy. If the audio control room really was empty, that would mean Miss Woods was roaming around campus. Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. If you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her. Juniper's innocent. That's the truth. But in this dark age of the law, the truth can be easily twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the end justifies the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies. Hugh's heart won't hold out under this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make him recant his false testimony? I fear nothing now that I have lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell. Cut me down if you wish. I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed to a verdict. Yeah. Oh boy. Ah, he broke out of his shackles again. Oh boy. I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. Hugh O'Connor, in deference to you, I will limit your suffering with one clean blow.
Hold it!
Could you wait just a moment before you cut him down?
Silence!
Do not come between a samurai and his foe, Sykes-Dono. Eek! I never learned about this in law school. Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time? Very well. Golden Boy may live. For now. Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Woods would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything. That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. But what does it matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is, no doubt, news to you. But I am not and never was a genius. Sorry, but I already know. Me too. And don't forget me. Though, in all fairness, it's pretty obvious. I thought he was a genius at first, but the stuff he said was crazy. No need to rub it in. Just shut up and listen. It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents have been paying good money for my grades. But that's bribery. So the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea. All of my perfect scores were the product of cold hard cash, not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone, Juniper overheard me. Oh, what a terrible misunderstanding. I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. A perfect 0. Hugh. Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by pinning the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now, so it'd be a relief for her to see me locked away. If you were trying to help her, then why did you testify against her? You were the ones who told me to tell the truth yesterday, so I thought if I did, it would help her. He wasn't trying to provoke us? But you didn't tell the truth. You said that you saw the body. Looks like we seriously misunderstood him, in more ways than one. At the detention center yesterday, Junie was in tears when she opened up to me. But the truth is the friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there was something that could help me prove that to Hugh... I know. What about that proof of friendship they mentioned? I wonder where or what it is. I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Maybe it's... No, that's definitely it. That band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor, that band around your neck. That's your proof of friendship, isn't it?
Proof of friendship? Is that anything like proof of purchase barcode?
In court, evidence is everything. That's why the three friends created friendship bands. It's the evidence that proves their friendship.
Oh, very interesting. And chic.
If they have doubts about their friendship, they can look to the proof they have on hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he is pressured. It proves he still has feelings of friendship toward the other two. It doesn't matter if I wear it if those two...
Objection!
But they feel the same way too. I know they wear their friendship bands somewhere. Junie and Robin must both feel the same with Hugh. I just know it. Everything Hugh has said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may have also just told me that the others wear their proof of friendship
where they're easy to touch, yeah, where they touch it in their stress. All we have to do is think back to their testimonies. Ready? Miss Newman holds her arm when pressured. And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad. Ah.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made, just for the three of us. You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Hugh!
Ah,
Hey, Hugh!
and to think, I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
All the anime cutscenes. It's so sweet, though. I didn't kill anyone. And I didn't have a body double. I didn't move the body. I didn't even see it. And may look like I'm speed reading Zen in the Art of Mastering the Bar exam, but I haven't read a single word. Well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you did. Hugh. So, Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you? I'm going to save Junie. So yes, you can place your trust in me. And I might understand the witness is recanting his confession. Yes. Alright, all of the truth is out. We have laid bare everything about the three friends. The most roundabout trial. I must prefer the turnabout variety myself. Now we are back to the fact that there was one suspect who lacked an alibi, which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking this entire time. So we're back to square one. Now I'm exhausted and depressed. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the mood matrix. Huh? Does this mean... Further resistance is futile. The time for a verdict is nigh.
Objection!
Please wait! What sort of devilry are you up to now? What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right? Well, yes, I suppose it would. But after such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist? Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout, but Mr. O'Connor's testimony has cracked this case. There's no more noise. Hugh is telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite him really was empty, which now means there's one person unaccounted for. Hyping up the music. Going in the turnabout time. Cornered. Or whatever it's called. I think it's not cornered, because that's whenever you're cornered. I think it's this turnabout theme. Besides Junie, the only person without an alibi during the mock trial is...
Take that!
The balcony seat was empty. That much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right. How many more times do I have to say it? So basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence!
Need I remind you if the last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech?
Objection!
know, and that's not in dispute here. Now let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was pre-recorded. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from an empty balcony seat. Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane. I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. Oh, you mean the one that said you're a goner? Take this to police, he said, and tell them you found it. What? Really? Wait a second. Mr. O'Connor, did you just say that Professor Means gave that phony recording to you? Phony? The defense will refrain from hurling unsubstantiated allegations. Well, I said he gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony? Wow, who could have seen this development? Did you suspect Mr. Means, Professor Means? I tried to be super neutral toward him. And then whenever he started doing the whole "and justifies the mean" thing, I was like, oh man, yeah, that's awful. Oh no, this guy. But I was trying to be super neutral. Identify as a fake, Professor Means used you to pass it on to police. The voice shouting "you're a goner" as recorded on this tape was dubbed onto it using a line our client said in the mock trial video. Oh, this is an extremely crucial piece of evidence. Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. If that's really true, then Professor Means is guilt written all over him. Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence.
The seat was never empty. It was but an oversight by our Dillard of a witness. An inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often all too easy to overlook critical symptoms.
Objection!
Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for suspecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable. That's enough, both of you. Now, here's my opinion on the matter. While a surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness's oversight, too, must not be overlooked. Thus, as to the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself. I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today. Do as you please. Professor? Will you please state your name and occupation for the record? Certainly. I am Aristotle Means. I teach the lawyer course at Themis Legal Academy. And let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion. Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at that speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation in this? Very well, if that's all you're interested in. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. We need to find some sort of evidence that shows this speech was pre-recorded. Alright, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, begins shortly. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for the day to come. Oh no. I'd forgotten how long and boring his speech was. Zzz. Wake me up once this is over. Hey, no fair! The experiences of our youth have powerful and profound effect on our adult... Ah, you there. Wake up. Pay attention. Ha ha ha. Yes, me.
Sorry, I wanted to see real quick because it seems like such a kid thing to do. Oh no, he's 28. Okay, cool.
Huh? Eek! I'm awake, I'm awake. Isn't that right, Your Honor? I'm awake too. Wide awake, see? Once again, our pure white lady justice will be watching over all of you today. Pay attention and you may make a difference one day. Now let the mock trial begin. That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes. He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears. Listen, Sykes-Stono, if you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out. Actually, it was a little bit without purpose because the problem was at the end. But you were asleep the whole time! Oh, well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about that speech? Could I please hear that last part again? Once again, our pure white lady justice will be watching over all of you today. There! I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have only one question about your speech. Why does that last part we just heard contradict with this? Sorry, buddy, but Lady Justice is not pure white in this picture. The professor says the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be. I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity. I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. Now, it's true that the statue is pure white, but it broke before the mock trial began. The one you see here is its replacement. Oh, well, it's a shame on every count. Ironically, the golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning the professor would have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present. Wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present. I love it when things work out like that. It seems like I caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
Objection!
The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like? Well, it was in the balcony seats. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded. We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall. No, wait! There's got to be something that can prove that the speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video. The speech started here. And ended here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. It was only a little over 10 minutes? It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy, there's a timestamp in the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended. The speech goes on from 10-minute mark to 20:35. Wait a second. I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech in time to show that it was pre-recorded? Oh. Interesting. It's not written? Oh, wait, no. Hold on. There it is. 10 minutes and 35 seconds of noise requiring further testing. Post-recording. It was like post-recording editing. And overdubbed.
Take that!
I would like the court to take a look at this. And this is the voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client. Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication? We did. But what I'd like to focus on is the noise that's also there. Noise. Yes, the defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. And what do you hope to prove by that? The length of the noise is what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Means began his speech?
That would be exactly 10 minutes. 10. Oh.
Now let's fast forward to the long-winded exercise in boredom to the end. Okay, stop. This video timestamp now reads 2035. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone.
Right, subtract 10 minutes and you get 10:35. 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Right. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. The same as the noise in the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means. Professor Means' pre-recorded speech had been where the noise is now.
Silence!
You seem rather confident, considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
But is it really just numbers? Lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. It's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. So they can recover it. The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording by pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not going to get away with it. Not on my watch. Not gonna get away with it. Miss Sykes. Oh. His attitude has changed. I believe you are well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my word. And to that purpose I offer to be her lawyer. Alas, look what's happened. All I've stated are obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony. Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I had been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth. Uh-oh, this doesn't sound good. Something tells me it ain't gonna be the truth. I will now reveal the truth behind why I had to pre-record my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean and mean what I say by all means. Oh boy. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's a humane thing to do.
Oh, you jerk. Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you?
You are an absolute jerk. This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true. On this most consequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means. No, she hasn't, you big liar. I don't believe you! When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent.
Her two friends, the witnesses?
Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was to ensure all three walked free. All three were to achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end. You no doubt put high praise for her with this tactics. Yes, well, that is why I vowed to vigorously defend her despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now, in the defense of justice, order, and all that is good, the end justifies the means. I am so sick of hearing that phrase. I was just about to say, can we stop it with the phrase? So tired of it. Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if its victories. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality. That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark age of the law, it's up to me to fight it. Why so silent, Sexto? Something the matter?
This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking.
Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify the situation.
No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is. Alrighty. Final boss, guys. Let's do it.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I too was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly.
Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth.
The problem is, how am I going to expose it? It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused?
Hold it!
I don't have any proof that she wasn't in the recording room, right? I don't have, like, the tape of the... Did you consider that a threat?
Yes, but it is now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are being used by Juniper.
What?
Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character.
Very well. Objection sustained.
So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable.
Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I too have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose that was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder and that she hadn't meant to threaten me.
Really? Please do explain.
Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings.
Does the witness realize what he is saying?
Surely you must see that the true meaning in my words. I merely stay true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh wow, his way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Really?
The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words. It's a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter.
Final confirmation. I wonder what that was. I don't...
Hold it!
Let's keep pressing everything for now. I doubt our client would have come to you with something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead. So our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead? Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day.
Hold it!
You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie. What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I've nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go so far as to threaten me. That's why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student. Liar, you're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking? You cannot possibly overturn my claims, so isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is? He thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies. He's got nothing coming. I'm going to find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making it up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony matches up with the actual actions. Okay. Okay, so we've acknowledged that this is his... that this is him. This is his speech. We also have the thought that Professor Means was the one who gave this to Hugh. Oh. He's not protecting her. This was evidence against her.
Objection!
So, let me get this straight. You were trying to help Ms. Woods? Ha! That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's an outrage. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. Again, what am I looking at here? Is that a person? Do you see a person in the left one? I think it's like security footage or something. I don't know. Oh, wait, no. I think that's a chalk outline or like a rope outline on the right. I have no idea. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Damaging elephants? What? Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the... good intentions. But not yours! You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. It's time to rid the place of you. Put you behind bars or something. Why, you little. You dare call me my teaching and methods lies? Ooh. The sound like echoed through my... Oh, hello. Themis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world.
Every time I saw him, by the way, in this case, I remembered this moment. This is like major boss battle. This might take a while, guys. You'll never forget what true education in lawyering means once I'm through with you. Huh? Professor Means, what's with your hair? Quiet! No talking in class. Ow! Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes. Huh? Oh, here? Apollo Justice. I'm fine. I mean here. Fool. The proper response is here, without any extraneous information. Ouch! I mean, here. Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class? That's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said Simon Blackquill. Are you here or not? There's always one, isn't there? Well then, I will just mark you absent. Now, get out of my class this instant. Get out? Very well. If that is your wish, who am I to defy my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Professor Blackwell is free of the shackles. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. But is that really so shocking? Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, fool right. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. Alright. Class is now in session. Why do I have this sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache? I mean, that's pretty basic here. Pay attention! I am not the killer Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial.
Athena, you disappoint me, sir. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this crime?
Objection!
Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time? Can you prove that I was still at school? Well, what's those pictures? No, I can't. What time were those pictures taken? Aha! He was there. So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you've also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate. Ew, I do enough of that at the office. No way, man! I totally object! Robin? I can't believe I fell for the professor's silver-tongued lies. Why, you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Now I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself! Statues on stage? Do I want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished. Professor Means was still at school? This is incredibly important testimony. The professor told me I'll take care of it.
I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin? Quick! Somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon! You were head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Ah! Who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Ah, nurse! Nurse! Where's the school nurse when you need one? It would seem Psychsona seeks showdown, Professor. In which case, you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. Very well. Then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style. What does that? Never mind. Your testimony, please. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Juniper, saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so. Don't try to deny it now.
Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short of time. Doesn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Most of the other statue?
Hold it!
Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean? Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it. I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you? Why, you insolent little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. Oh, quiet you. Now do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done. For the sakes, do you accept the witness's claim? I hate it when I have choices like this, because I don't accept it. Accept it. But what is it going to ask me to do? Present evidence or something? Because I don't have any evidence. No, I don't! I know there's more to this and I won't stop until the truth comes out. The more you struggle, the more you sink, like so much legal quicksand, so to speak. I used the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m. Ultimate technique? Maybe our client only thought she saw the statues?
Silence.
A pity for you, but we have already confirmed it with the accused. She's on record as having seen both statues. Yeah, that's true. Just thought I'd give it a shot.
Everyone fails except me. Gah! I have the ultimate into courtroom techniques. It's absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place, along with all who believed in you. Wow.
Is there no way to get to this guy?
Better pay attention. Pay very close attention.
Hold it!
Why were you in such a hurry?
In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I had never left the stage. Not on your life, Buster. No, I don't. I know there's more to it. I won't stop until the truth comes out. Be careful, Athena. If you don't have anything, it's probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you find something to nail him with. But, when will you cease this nonsense? I'm quite busy today as the night of the crime. Oh, okay. I think Apollo is telling me to say it's fine, and we'll move on with the testimony. I think. So, grin and bear it. I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. Ha! That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. It couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not gonna give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Well, I think I have other objections. Not yet! The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to... Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Oh, is it logic time? Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. I must use any means possible to distract her. See if she can think while I cast these stones. Who brought the bird to school? Sexton, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the crime scene. If Professor Means was on stage the entire time, then he must be the killer. Ridiculous. The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sexton. Okay, the murder was actually committed here. Oh, right there, where the thing already is, on the stage.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage. Really? But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained. The banner, right?
Take that!
It's true. There were no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this, the skull banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy says that the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire? Makes more sense than not. Yeah, very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get it.
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well. You do? If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. The Gavineer's banner. That's burned.
Take that!
Because everything goes into the incinerator when it's covered in blood. Why, that looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner. It's the Gavineer's banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on the top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
So the banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The Gavineer's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality. Simon, don't just stand there. Do something.
Silence.
Sexto, you are learning to wield the blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large blood stain was detected in the artery. Why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room's faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood to the art room. Ah, the banner.
Take that!
The killer could have used this to transport the victim's blood. Oh, I'm wrong. Shoot. Is it the Gavineer's banner? It's the Gavineer's banner. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's try that again. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. Which would have been the Gavineer's banner, because they just finished discussing it? Yeah, okay. To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court. It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it, by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Gavineer's banner to the art room. Then, the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Order, order! This is quite a development. I just think the body was never actually moved.
Yeah, this whole time we've been talking about the similarities to the script, but it was on the stage the entire time.
Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. That loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues. What was it indeed? The knot in the skull banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. Yeah, that was the issue. Something was carried.
So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statues was... You guys know what was in the art room before the murder and sent down after?
Take that!
Ah, that statue! Yes, I believe it was the statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, the pure white Lady Justice from earlier, Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrappy relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming. You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to point us to the body. Because that's what it ended up doing. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
That's quite a persuasive argument. Oh, for a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means.
Fine then, say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed by the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial.
So answer me this, why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? That can be explained by... If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp.
I know. We've come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anybody. Anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been and it always will be. Just wait a minute. Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Ah! Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. Okay, he's coming at me hard.
Don't tell me I've failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer, and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again?
He's gone, blacked out again. Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Athena, breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would.
You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me!
It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between you, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Athena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie? I know you better than most people, Athena. And I know you'd never surrender to the Dark Age of the Law like the Professor did. Thank you, Junie, but I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Stop your bleating this instant. You look an utter fool. Prosecutor Blackwell? There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard? Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. The bright, cheery Dark Age of the Law? You are helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the end justifies the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, be sure to find it. Now, let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for utter defeat. Logic time. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using a span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place was before the mock trial. What? Hugh testified that he'd seen the body before the mock trial. But it turned out he was lying to protect Junie. The appearance of the body had to coincide with the time covered, but it was while we were listening to... Oh, I guess technically it was during the mock trial. It was during his speech, though. I was seeing his speech as before the mock trial, but I guess it's during the mock trial. It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech. Because apparently that was part of the mock trial. Sorry. I read that as before the mock trial started, because it's not the trial itself. It's fine, whatever. Professor Means moved the body into an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically the statue. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the right Lady Justice in the skull banner and sent it zipping down the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide the body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. What was already on the stage and capable of concealing a body? Oh, I know. The Mr. Right statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night? Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Right. With the body wrapped up under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? I second that what? Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm going to pose like the statue. Like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? Bailiff? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue of Mr. Right, or what? Looks like some random person to me. Weren't the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair! The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to him for trying anyway. Wait, that's it! The hands! Her arms are raised over her head, and there's dark bruises around her wrist. The professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrists indicated she's been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No. Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think this related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Well. Apollo, tie both my hands behind my head. Ah, yes, the spiky hair. See, this makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now? What does the victim's body have that I don't? An arrow sticking out of it?
Take that!
Is that the arm? Oh, right! There was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What are you, crazy? Fine, then go get some duct tape. Rapido! Chanel! Alright. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now, cover me with that cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? Mommy, the arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But, what else could you use for the arm? Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again and the penalty will be doubly painful. Yikes! I guess I better get right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please be in this photo. It just has to be. The arm on Mr. Wright's statue is really this right here. Is it his staff? His stick?
Take that!
Got it! I know what he used for the arm on the statue, Mr. Wright. Of Mr. Wright. This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo. Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there. It's the staff. This is the spear of a great legal warrior. Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright. Look, it's that famous lawyer. That's definitely him. I know that pose anywhere. He did it. Didn't we? Well, am I not the splitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light. Golden light, all I see before me is the pink specter of a man. That's just because Mr. Wright likes the statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink. Blah, that joke deserves a pink slip. It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? Bah, the resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than just mere coincidence. To prove that the spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is see if it has blood. See if it's a staff or a spear. I like that. We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in, but if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it. Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate.
Are they throwing chalk back at him? What are they throwing at him? Oh, wow, you really shouldn't grind your teeth like that.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness Aristotle means? It is as Sykes Dono suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to his heinous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills could be put to good use there. Great. I'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask you what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after the report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing, right there on that stage. The results, the heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. But that scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class.
Really?
So then... Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but, like as not, the scrap belonged to him.
I wonder if the handwriting is decidedly different. It is different. If you look at the word Hugh, like her handwriting is like scrunchier. Squished together.
This, too, is evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constant Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant Juniper Woods
not guilty. Yay! Confetti, celebration, happiness, smiles all around.
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain.
That's the last thing I expect to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Thena. I really mean it.
It was nothing, really. I could take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You looked pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster.
I wanted to thank you, too, Apollo. And don't mention it. The way you were... Oh, the way you were always there for Athena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center, hearing your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on a peaceful woodlands. Oh, okay, I thought her crush started whenever he saved her, but no, apparently it started earlier than that. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, Guys, I've got some big news! I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So what's the big news? The school festival! It was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but... We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constant Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? Oh, right! Are we going? Is that... Oh, music. Yay.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the guitar serenade.
Aw, we don't get to hear her sing. That would have been cool, though, after hearing it in Apollo's game, but then actually putting the words with the melody. That would have been cool. Wow, that was so much fun! School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Ah, your singing voice, Juniper! It could melt my heart! Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and Hugh won? So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper! There's something I've been wanting to say to you. Huh? Oh! Is he going to do what I think he is? Juniper. Can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been. Huh? Best friends? Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops. Listen, you too, Robin. Miriam. Oh, Miriam. Hey. Me too? Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in! I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet! And what about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, not talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word... And so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind? We are coming to the end of the game, where things are about to come to a head with all the hints that have been coming through the rest of the cases, here and there, bits and pieces. So, next time, we'll start the Cosmic Turnabout. And yeah, see where that all goes. So like I said, this is the only case that I've played more than once. Turnabout Academy was. Speaking of, let's go over this. I've already mentioned that this is my favorite case of the game, Turnabout Academy. I love the three friends. Look at them. Oh my gosh, Robin. Yeah, no, those are good pictures of them. Junie being all like serious and stoic. Robin going crazy, and Mr. Grin over there. I love how Aristotle Means is like kind of in the background with his finger up, and it's just not really. He's just kind of there. And it doesn't even show. Usually it shows like the body or something. Or the, yeah, that shows. Yeah, it's weird. Okay, well, anyway. Clavier being like up front. But anyway, yes, no, Turnabout Academy is my favorite in this particular game because the friendship bands I think are really cute. They do the very anime sort of cutscene there for that, but I think it's very sweet, and they're all going to fight against the Dark Age of the Law, and Themis Legal Academy being a big, I guess a big source of that, but I don't know. Now with that court case done, maybe things will be different. But we also see we sneak a little bit into seeing Athena and her motivations. We get a little bit of an interesting view into, I guess we got a little bit of a view into Blackwell's more, I was going to say helpful side, nice side. I don't know. He's still an interesting one to figure out. But it does do one of those things where it's like your client, like kind of like how Maya was for the Ace Attorney's original trilogy. You repeated defending her. We repeated defending Junie in the same game, so that was a thing. But but it's fine. It works. It works for what it's trying to do, and it was it connects the cases together. I mean, this is definitely like more of a fluff case, but at the same time, it does do the whole Dark Age of the Law thing, so it sort of has substance there. But yeah, the whole thing where it's like I love when the case has you going one direction of how it went down. Like we were talking about the script and how it was totally like the script, and so we made all these assumptions based off of the script, and then we're like, oh, I wonder what's different based on what the script said versus what was in the note and things like that. So we never did find that note, but but the fact that the murder occurred on stage, it was not in the art room. The art room was staged. The finding of the body was staged to be at a certain time during the mock trial, because apparently the speech took place during the mock trial, not before it. But yeah, anyway, Athena's fun. Athena's a cool character, and we get to kind of see into her psyche a little bit, because she does have sort of those kind of blackout panic attack moments that she has. We saw it in the first case where she was feeling a little hopeless. So we definitely know there's some past going on there, and there's something that's haunting her. And we're going to discover more about that. We actually saw a little bit of her in little cutscene sort of things during that panic attack where she was a little girl. And I think we saw a little bit of it at the first case of the game too, where she was a little girl and she was crying out a certain phrase. But yeah, we're gonna go deeper into that. We're gonna find out what is gonna happen next time in the next episode, and probably has something to do with everything with Apollo. This is apparently his trilogy, after all, because they do call this the Apollo Justice Trilogy now officially, since it's coming out in January for on the Switch. But yeah, we're gonna see as the story continues into episode 4 what is going on between him, the discord that she's hearing in his voice when he's leaving, and what happens with his friend. So, I'll talk to you guys then.